powered by Riverside FM.
What I was trying to say is that if I can change,
Я думаю, что каждый тоже изменился
and
сегодня.
you can change,
Вы можете измениться.
everybody can change.
Каждый может измениться.
You're listening to WildFireRadio.com presents the Jerry Torres program. No bad news, no sad news, no politics, no religion, just happy fun stuff. And now, here's your host, Jerry Torres.
Five-time Emmy Award-winning anchor Ron Burgundy and Tits McGee.
Now go do that voodoo that you do so well.
Oh man, I knew I didn't turn it up. Hold on, man. There we go. It was my soundboard. It was down. Oh my lord. Damn it. Now I got it. Let's see. Yeah. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play my intro again because lately it would play and then not play. It's the most important part of the show. It brings the introduction, brings the love. So, all right. So I'm going to play it again. If you don't like it, I don't care. It's my show. Deal with it. Here we go.
Obscure scene, take two. Action!
What I was
All right.
trying to say is
Now,
that if
speaking
I can
of it,
change,
Я думаю, что каждый тоже изменился
and
сегодня.
you can change,
Вы можете измениться.
everybody can change.
see? Now,
Может измениться.
I just don't understand why it doesn't play the whole thing.
You're listening to WildFireRadio.com presents the Jerry
That was from an old
Torres
studio I used to work
program.
for. Wow,
No bad
never
news,
paid
no
me.
sad news, no politics, no religion, just happy fun stuff. And now, here's your host,
Yep.
Jerry Torres.
Five-time Emmy Award-winning anchor Ron Burgundy and Tits McGee.
Now go do that voodoo
Oh, there I
that
go.
you do so well.
And now I'm going to turn it down just a bit right about here. There you go. Then you're going to hear this.
Asking for a friend.
There you go. And then this right here. Yeah. And then I usually and normally say, welcome everyone to another edition episode of the Jerry Torres program. Oh my God. Thank you for coming on and staying on. Appreciate it. Oh my goodness. What a nice day it was today. It was nice and cool. It wasn't hot. It wasn't humid. It wasn't chilly. It was none of those things. It was a very, very, very nice day. I loved it. I get to wear one of my jackets that I bought not too long ago. And oh my God. I just enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it, man. But yeah. So, what wrong button? Damn it. That's not the button I wanted. Yeah, so I was happy. Yeah, wait a minute. Where's my happy? Oh my God, man. I got to do everything myself, which pretty much I am. There we go.
Oh, you happy,
I'm
man?
going to play this. Yes, play the horns. I am happy. That cold weather is finally here. Yes. Oh my God. Sound up. Oh, wait a minute. Sound off the fireworks. God damn it. All right, here we go again. Yes. Play the happy horns. Yes. And now the crowd cheers. They celebrate. Listen to the fireworks. And a fart. All right. I wore my jacket and pretty much the day was nice. I went grocery shopping and I was like, man, should I go somewhere? Now I was like, you know what? Let me just go home, get some things done, and then be behind my desk and just do what I love doing. And that's writing. Oh my god. So, and I did take a nap. That was another thing. So, all right, let's cut down to the quick. Last night, all three Philadelphia teams lost. Yes, they did. Hot damn it. Where the hell is it? There we go. Oh my goodness, I'm going to break this thing. So let's see. Like I was saying before, all three Philadelphia teams lost last night. Yes, they did. And the Philadelphia Phillies are not going to the World Series. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do this. So here we go. Wait a minute. I got to find it first. All right, let me find this here. All right, wait a minute. What's this one right here? Hold up. Nah, I'm going to use this one right here. Hold on. And then I'm going to save that. And then go over here. This is a couple of sound effects that are really good at what I'm about to do. Okay. So then I'm going to find sad. There we go. Wait a minute. Sad horns. Or wait a minute. Let's see. All right. How about let's try this one. Nah, let me try this one right here. Now that one's too long. All right. So now what I'm going to do is go to favorites. Wait, favorites. God damn it. Oh my God. I'm going to break this fucking thing. I don't feel like cursing, but I really do want to so bad. Okay. So let me see here. So now I'm looking at it. Let me find. Okay. So the Philadelphia Phillies are not going to the World Series.
Loser.
Yeah. And the Philadelphia Eagles lost to the Giants. I'm going to get into that later.
Loser.
And the opening season of hockey, the Philadelphia Flyers lost last night, their very first game. Oh, yeah. What the F?
Loser.
Thank you. Yep. Three major organization teams lost. And would I say it's a good feeling? Yeah, to me, it was a good feeling. I don't know. I was, before I get into that, the Philadelphia Phillies were doing great. But it's just that the Dodgers was just too much for them. And they lost. And now they're not going to the World Series. Excuse me. Oh my God. It happens. It happens, people. You're on a hot streak, you're winning games, and then all of a sudden you find out you're going to the playoffs, and not the final playoffs, but you know what I mean? And then you're popping champagne bottles, and you're wearing the goggles, and you're celebrating, you're screaming, you're high-fiving, and then all of a sudden you go not the distance. It's bad. So last night the Flyers were playing, and they lost. Very first game. It was a good game, but they but it's only the first game of the season, people. So they got like another 90 or 132 to go. I have no idea, but yeah, they're out.
How'd you like them apples?
So now let's go to the Giants. Now, the title that I had on my previous podcast show, I said the Giants suck, right? But they didn't do that last night. They won. What the hell? I was like, sorry. So let me type in what the score was. I should have had it up here. Damn it. Okay, so let's see. New Giants. There we go. Okay. So the score was 34-17. Okay. Now, that's a shock to the system that the Giants and their quarterback, Dart, Your name Dirt. So the Giants' decisive victory over the Eagles, despite earlier struggles, is shocking fans and sparking worthy reactions. I don't want to use that word, worthy, but it's yeah. The Giants pretty much handed the Eagles their second loss. It's a shock to the world. It's a shock to New York. It's a shock to other Giants fans from other parts of the state and the world. They're like, what the hell happened? I'm astonished that this happened. So, see what I mean? It's like I can't continue on because, wow, 34-17. Here I am thinking that the Eagles would destroy the Giants. I thought the game was going to be like 49-3 or something like that. Oh my God. I never thought that would happen. And people are thinking, oh, the Giants got it together. They're going to do it. It's like, no, please. Whatever you do, Giants fans, don't do that. Don't keep my hopes up. Don't hurt my feelings. You know what I mean? It was a struggling last season. And I got a feeling this season is going to be even struggler. Yes. Much. Okay, what the hell was that? Oh my Lord. Okay, hold on. Okay, I should have never touched that damn thing, but I did. Now I gotta wait 30 seconds for this stupid song. It's called D-Phone. Why did I touch that button? Why? Anyway. So before I go back to my soundboard, when that stupid song gets out of my head, like I said, I'm getting texts from people, from my coworkers and a couple of my buddies. They're like, "Did you see the game last night?" I said, "No." And they were like, "Why?" Because I thought it was going to be a slaughter. I thought it was going to be like devastating slaughter. Like, forget it, dude. Just let them. Give him an opening, make a hole, let him go to the touchdown, And then all of a sudden, I'm like looking at the end. Well, what the hell? 16-14. Okay. Eagles will make a comeback. Then the third quarter, I was looking at the baseball game, the Chicago beating the Milwaukee's, and all of a sudden, I'm like astonished, shocked that I'm seeing that. Somehow, some way that the Giants were winning. I was like, oh, good. The sound effect is gone. One thing after another, I was getting these alerts on my phone. I'm like, I ain't gonna look. I don't want to look. Don't even bother. I already know the score. It's probably now 53-2. I mean, I kept thinking that. And then I was like, you know what? Then my brother comes into my room. He was like, hey, the Giants are playing. He's like, I ain't going to be watching no damn Giants, man. I already know the score, 56-2 or 56-3. And I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking, we're done, dude. Hit the gavel. Yep. And next thing you know, I'm watching the, hold on, what the hell's going on here? Oh, wait a minute. Is this too loud? Give me a second here. Yeah. Okay. Are we there? Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay. This is high and this is medium. All right. Hold on. I'm adjusting the sound. There we go. Okay. That's better. Oh, my Lord. Because it was loud. I was like, what the hell is my microphone up all loud? Which, by the way, I'm in the process of buying a new microphone anyway. So let's continue, people. Hello. How's everybody doing out there? I would never think that this would happen, especially the last when the Giants lost to St. Louis, New Orleans, St. Louis, and New Orleans Saints. I kept thinking, wow, I'm going to see this ridiculous score on the board. when I'm looking at my phone or I flip to that channel, I know what the score is going to be. I feel it. I know it. I said, no, I'm going to watch the baseball game. I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to watch the baseball. I'm going to see Chicago win, which they did. And then after that, I was like, oh, another game. Okay, I'm going to watch that. Oh, I'm going to watch the Flyers. And I'm not going to watch the football game. And then all of a sudden, I was like 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. I see the score 34-17. I'm like, what the F is going on here? Am I dreaming this? Am I dreaming this? All I kept saying was, what?
What?
Yep.
What did you say?
I said the Giants won. Yep.
What was that?
I said the Giants won.
What?
Yeah.
Whatever.
It was astonishing. And a sports writer said, hey, this could be a worthy team. Don't think too far ahead on that one, okay? They got a long road to go, and am I going to say, keep your hopes up. Keep your hopes up. Think positive. It's going to happen. You did this in 2011 with the Giants when they were playing horrible, and all of a sudden they went to the Super Bowl, and then there everybody thought that the New England Patriots was going to slaughter them, beat them to death, leave take no prisoners. And what happened? Giants beat New Orleans, won the Super Bowl 2012. I would never have thought of this. But I mean, that's all I've been getting. These texts all day, these messages all day. One of them says this is, I received this text, okay? And a friend of mine texted me this, and I'll read it. I'm not going to say her name. It says, nice win last night. And I wrote, it was a shock. And then she wrote back again, honestly, I'm not even surprised that the Giants pulled the upset. And a lot of upsets have been happening lately. And I said, yes. That's all I said. I was like, because I was busy taking a dump. But yeah, it was a shock. And everybody's sad, everybody's depressed, everybody's like, oh, what's happening? We were like the hottest team in the world. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what? Listen, my heart goes out to any Philly fans of their team, either it's hockey, football, baseball, even down to a cricket league Philly team. You know, I know it's like all three of your professional league teams lost. And it hurts, and it bothers you, and you're like in shock, like thinking, this can't happen. Oh, it did happen. I mean, you think the Giants, you think New York teams are getting it lucky? No, look at that. Even though the Giants won yesterday, but they're not doing well. The Jets are definitely horrible. The Rangers haven't even had a chance to play yet, which I think they did, but they won. You know, and all of a sudden the Giants, New York fans, oh, thank God we got hope. You know? And the Knicks basketball season will start soon. So it's only I want to say it's only a game, people. You know?
Shut up.
Yeah, you shut up, you whore bag. What the hell? Now, be that as it may, hang in there. All right. Things will get better, people. Okay? Don't you'd be surprised what can happen in later in the season. I mean, you know, I just can't keep myself or my hopes up high for the Giants. They just shocked the football world. That's all they did. Not just Philadelphia fans, but they shocked the football world. That they won 34-17, and I guarantee you, how many people place bets on their apps thinking that, oh, yeah, the Giants, Eagles beat the point spread. Oh, Eagles got this. It's an easy win, easy payoff. And I'm like, and I'm thinking this all day long. I'm thinking like past 3 or 4 days, I'm thinking this. I'm like, you know what? This will be a slaughter. They will take no prisoners. You know, they will be unmerciful even when they're begging for their lives. So next thing I know, I see it. I was like, oh my God. Oh, man. But it is what it is. And still early in the season. Who knows what will happen later on? What the hell's going on? There we go. Wait a minute. I got to just. That's it. I got to get a new mic. I'll get one next week. Anyway. So let's move on, people. All right, let's find something to talk about, man. Because listen. I have my set list. Like today, I cooked boiled chicken and I had potatoes. Like I said, I'm on a diet. I'm eating healthy. Yeah, what I did was I boiled the chicken. I thought about frying it. I thought about putting it in the frying pan, and I was like, nah, nope, nope. So what I did was I got some boiling water. Wait a minute, do I have boiling water sound? Wait, let me see if I got pot sound. Let me see. Pot. Yeah, I do. Which pot? Wait a minute. Let's try this one. No, that's not it. There you go. So I put the chicken in the pot, cook it, and oh, damn it. So next thing you know, I was putting what the hell is that meat sauce called? I was putting it in there, oil, butter, and I put sazon, salt, garlic powder, and make sure like that water seeps into the meat. And I grabbed some potatoes. I was like, you know what? This would be my dinner. I'm good what I'm gonna have right now. I had that. Oh my God. Don't tell me I have to drink more coffee later. So then I had my coffee. Yeah, my coffee. I had my dinner and I was done. I was like, good. I'm good. Came back upstairs and I was like, you know what? Let me do my podcast. I should have done it earlier, much earlier this afternoon. Anyway, so after that, I was like, you know what? I'm good for the rest of the evening. I have no plans. I thought about, going out and about doing things, but I said, nah, let me just stay home and relax. I had a long week. The past 2 days, I was working massive overtime for 2 days straight. And the weekend to me is my days off are very important to me. I need to rest. I really want to rest. And when for 2 days working 11-hour shifts, that's too much on the body. Mm. Oh my God. I was thirsty as hell. Oh my God. So, be that as it may, to me, if they ask me to work overtime or they ask me to, hey, Jerry, can you work an extra day? Hey, Jerry, can you stick around for an extra 30 minutes to an hour? I'm like, no. After these 2 days of 11-hour shifts, I just was like, I want to go home. I want to take a shower, get this Amazon off me, and just rest. My God. I'm telling you, man. And now this run for new governor, it's already the commercials are popping up. I don't care about these two people. I really don't. One looks like an Italian sleazebag mob douche nozzle, and the other one was a military personnel. I can't put her down. She served in the military, But the other guy is Sabratelli, the gooch bag, whatever. You can easily tell that he's a dick with ears. That's all you can tell. That's how you can tell a corrupt politician. The way he smiles, the way he delivers his words, and the way he's like, I'm a Trump supporter. I love my Trump. When he whips out his penis, I'm automatically on it, kissing it everywhere. Because I'm too weak. I don't have a spine. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, I'm going to find something interesting to talk about. All right, so I'm thinking about going on TikTok Live. Maybe not. I have no idea. All right, so let's go on here. All right, here we go. Oh my Lord, this shit's pissing me off. All right, now let's go back on here. Okay, so hey, this is interesting to talk about. The nonstop action movie that ripped off John Wick just landed on streaming services. Oh my God. All right, so how many TV shows and movies nowadays are ripping off John Wick? A lot now. Every movie that we see is a ripoff. Okay. Every movie that we see that involved action and suspense and violence was very much ever since 2014's John Wick. Every movie tried to come out with their own. And then again, I keep saying this to myself, it's not original, it's a cliche, it's been done, head to chest and then running and then fighting and then doing the fancy tricks with the gun. It's like, okay. I guess you can't come up with your own then. All right. So Keanu Reeves, but Chad Stahelski, the director and producer, knew what he was doing when he made this movie. But it was another movie, also was 2017's Atomic Blonde. That was, I would not say that's a John Wick ripoff. I would not say that. I would say it was like, because it was, I don't know, it just wasn't a John Wick. They're claiming it to be a John Wick ripoff. I didn't think it was when I saw it out in the theaters. The only thing that was good about it, it was playing good, really cool 80s music. That's why I loved it. Oh my God. But I mean, there were so many other movies that are like a John Wick, like Deadpool 2, Bullet Train, The Fall Guy. It was like, you know what? I don't want to see any movie. If I see an action film, okay, if I see an action film and immediately that they do a ripoff of John Wick, I stop watching it. Unless it's something like from the early 2000s. What the hell? Hold on. Can you hear me? Okay. Unless it's something like from the early 2000s or mid to late 90s. Right away, that was like before John Wick. I would have been like, okay, I'll continue watching it. But nowadays, it's like I see a movie or a TV show, and all of a sudden they do the same action scenes, the fight scenes, the shooting scenes. Immediately, I'm like, it's John Wick. Well, you can't come up with your own. You can't bother to just say, you know what? Let me take the time to come up with something original. No. And I'm like, I can't watch this. I change the channel. I move on. I'm like, I can't. This is pathetic, man. There's nothing original anymore in films nowadays, man. That's what blows. Oh, my God. I'm moving on, man, because the thing is this, no matter how much you want to talk about it, no matter how much you debate and get angry of cliches that's been done in film so many times, there's nothing you can do about it. A director and a writer once said, movies nowadays, from directors to producers to writers, the large majority of them are just way too effing lazy to really come up with something that no one has ever seen. Nothing was adapted from a book. This was a thing about John Wick. It wasn't adapted from a book. There was no comic book, no cartoon. There wasn't never a TV show. It pretty much came from the mind of somebody that was like, hey, what would you do if someone stole your car and killed your dog? What would you do? And the answer was, I get revenge. Yay. It's like, but there's so many movies. There was a Mexican TV show. I forgot the name of the show, but I remember when they were advertising it. It was from Mexico. And it involved this woman that was scorned. I don't know how the story goes. And every storyline is the same thing. Oh, they killed my family. I will get revenge. They took my money. I will get revenge. They tried to kill me. I'm going to kill them first. And it's like, okay. Oh, they killed my best friend, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Right? But the original John Wick was like, my wife that passed away gave me something as semblance of remembering her. And that was the dog. Right? And his favorite car was stolen. So what do? You kill the mofos. That's what you do. And this show I forgot the name of it, but I remember I saw like the first 2 episodes. Technically, I'll be honest with you, I stopped watching after the first episode. Within 30 minutes of the first episode. I forgot the name of it. It involved a woman that was like this super agent. She retired, and she's happily married and living a good life because she's out of the business. She's out of the government business. And then one day, some of these monsters seeking revenge recognized her, so they try to kill her, but then they killed her husband, right? And all of a sudden, it was like this slow pace. The camera was at slow pace heading towards her face, and just to see the expression of her rage building up. And all of a sudden, she grabs the sledgehammer, goes downstairs, and does the John Wick breaking the floor. I was like, okay, I am done watching this. It's been done. Now it's really showing that it's been done. What are they going to say? Oh, no, it's nothing like a John Wick. No, no. You see, she didn't use this type of sledgehammer. She used this type of sledgehammer. I'm like, oh, my God. So I was done. I was done. I was done, man. I was like, you know what? This is too much, dude. This is sad. So I just stopped watching it because the reason why I saw the actress that was in it, and I forgot her name, but she was hot. I was like, ooh, damn, girl. So that's why I saw the show. What the F is wrong with my soundboard, man? There we go. That's why I continued watching the show because of that. I didn't continue watching. And I stopped watching it because of that. It's continued. Oh, yeah. Then the fight scenes were exactly like John Wick. The shooting scenes were like John Wick. And I was like, this is not kosher. This is not good. So for all you movies that are like, oh, it's nothing like John Wick. If you see the head and chest shot and all of a sudden being fancy with the gun, it's like, and then doing these fancy skills, wearing the suit. I'm sorry, but if it doesn't look like John Wick, but all of a sudden every scene is like a John Wick, it's a ripoff from the original John Wick. So stop. Try to come up with your own ideas, people. Oh my God. So I'm gonna get into this one instead. The movie called Roof Man is coming out this weekend. I want to see it, but I figured, I'll wait till it comes online, because I thought about going to the movies this weekend. I said, nah, you know what? I just want to stay home and relax. So the Jeffrey Manchester, right? Jeffrey Allen Manchester is he's a convicted spree robber because he robbed I think 35 or 45 McDonald's, and he's from the United States Army Reserve and a soldier. So let me get into the guy. All right, so what the hell? What the hell is this? Oh my God, I don't want to read that. All right, so let me find the guy. All right, so the real Jeffrey Manchester, what he did was he escaped from prison and he lived in a Toys R Us for 6 months. He was in hiding and they tried looking for him everywhere, So Jeffrey Manchester is currently in prison at Central Prison in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it was a projected release date of December 4th, 2036. He was sentenced to 40 years after being recaptured in 2005 following a 2000 conviction for crimes including robbery and kidnapping. Yeah, so he was originally sentenced to 45 years. Yes, okay, in the recapture in 2005. All right, good God, I'm wearing glasses now. I got to bring this thing up to my face. Okay, so let's see. All right, so yes, Roof Man was based on the true story of Jeffrey Manchester, an escaped criminal who hid in Charlotte, North Carolina Toys R Us for 6 months in 2004. Known as the Roof Man for robbing fast food restaurants by entering through the roof, he was eventually discovered when he started a relationship with a woman named Lee Wainscott. The movie takes creative liberties, but the core events of the escape in the 6-month period hiding in with a store are true. All right, the escape. Manchester escaped from a North Carolina prison on June 15th, 2004 by clinging to the undercarriage of a truck. Okay, all right. You see those in movies, Now, the hiding spot. He then made his way to Charlotte and hid in a Toys R Us for about 6 months. Now, they did a documentary. I didn't see it, but from what I read earlier about this, yeah. So he basically tampered with the camera system and the alarm system. He was eating their food, using their bathroom. Pretty much like workers came in during the day, and when they left at night, the toy store was his. That now modern technology wasn't advanced like it is now. He would have been caught within days, maybe minutes. Especially with security systems as they are right now, so sophisticated for them to capture somebody. Because in those days, it was like, oh man, there's somebody robbing my store. How do you know? It's on my phone. I got the alert. 2004 it didn't have that system yet. It was like the alarm goes off, the police shows up, then they call you. So it has advanced ever since then. All right. So the discovery, his double life began to unravel, and authorities eventually discovered his identity. And the connection to the movie, Manchester spoke with the film's director and star, Channing Tatum, and confirmed that his life was stranger than fiction through the movie version takes creative liberties. Yeah. So hold on for 1 second. All right. So now, how did he get into the Toys R Us? Okay. So after Jailbreak, Roofman, as they call him, that was his nickname. That was the title. It is the title of the movie. Hid in a Charlotte Toys R Us, but also in plain sight. This guy had balls. All right. So I'm looking at the real guy. Looks nothing like Channing Tatum. All right. So Jeffrey Manchester didn't exactly prove to be robbing mastermind in 2000, but he botched the holdup at a Belmont McDonald's restaurant and landed in North Carolina prison. But 4 years later, a burst of criminal-minded ingenuity helped him bust out. On June 15th, 2004, the convicted roofman robbery escaped from Brown Creek Correctional Institution metal plant. What the hell? Where he made bed frames and lockers by clinging to the undercarriage of a truck that took him just beyond the Polkton prison wall. From there, he was able to make it undetected to the main road, where he got a lift from an unwitting prison math teacher to a nearby gas station. Then Manchester hitched a ride with a trucker who took him 40 miles to Northwest in Charlotte. After that, the trail went cold. Manchester became a ghost. So it continue on with the story. And a ghost. Wow, okay. And a ghost. It was just so happened is that what Don Robertson came to believe might be plaguing his workplace, somebody, right? The Toys R Us on the East Independence Boulevard, about halfway between Uptown Matthews as summer turned to fall. Among the things that seemed off to Don, who had been hired as a high schooler, and he was only 20 years old, at the time. He starts his shift in the morning and noticed bicycle treads on the floor, in conspicuous places. Like he was like, what the hell is there bike trails leading to the bathroom, that weren't there when he closed up. The night before, his coworkers' work schedules mysteriously changed in the computer system at random, and managers were reporting that alarms were tripped more frequently overnight, but there was no sign of forced entry, right? So it did feel to him sometimes like the more items were missing than usual, but it was just a kid's toy store. So kids walked out with merchandise in their pockets all the time. So Don knew inventory was literally done once a year. But an eerie feeling lingered and managers started leaving the systems unarmed since the cost of so many false alarms was rising. Then one day in the fall of 2004, a coworker approached Don and excitedly told him the case was solved. There'd been someone living in the walls of the store. So he took Don to a little area next to where the power wheels were stored in, and gestured to a part of the wall that appeared to be closed off and finished. But it was actually jury rigged to conceal a false wall, along with a small space behind it suitable for hiding a full grown adult. Someone discovered that the hideout, after spying, a bit of Spider Man, Let's see. So they found evidence that someone had been sleeping there with an inflatable pool float. Oh my God! He used a pool float as a bed. That's awesome. Then the room was decorated with Spider-Man 2 movie posters and a collection of toys, including Nerf basketball hoop. Oh my lord! Okay, so this guy Jeffrey Masters was brilliant. So they found what Jeffrey Masters was utilizing a sketched diagram of the first of his two hideouts. Oh my God, it looked like some 5-year-old drew the. I can't even read it. What the hell he wrote? So all right. So the working theory was that homeless man had managed to go undetected all this time, right? Which seemed to explain months of in-store weirdness, and now that chose accommodations that had been rooted out, Don and his coworkers felt confident that he would find another place to play ghost. So they had no idea that he was simply moved from another part of the building. So when they found a spot, he's like, "Oh, well, go to another spot." So the story continues on. It's a long story, but I'm like, "Oh my God." So he was brilliant, man. So you gotta give the guy some credit. Even though, yeah, stealing is bad, robbery is bad. You can't. I'm just thankful that he wasn't a violent person. You know what I mean? Like he didn't kill, innocent lives for his own freedom or hurt somebody, like threatening or whatever. 6 months. Wow. I'll wait till the movie comes on streaming. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna go out to the theater and watch it. And Channing Tatum's too ugly. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, what girl's gonna like him? So this guy, Roofman, was very much a brilliant guy. You have these other convicts that escape, and what do? They they don't know where to go. They're stuck. You know what I mean? They're like, you catch them in the woods, or distraught. There was so many stories of escapes. Like I remember, when was it 3 or 4 years ago, when the temperatures were dropping. What I mean? Like we were feeling cold weather in the East Coast for the first time. Like I'm talking about Arctic temperatures, like -2 degrees, and there was not just here. It was in the East Coast, but there was some prisoner that this cold extreme blast that was happening across the United States. So there was a story about this convict that was serving time in a North Dakota prison, right? So during a middle of an evening freeze, like the temperatures dropped below -10, whatever, right? It was freezing. Nobody could survive, right? But this convict in this North Dakota prison was like, "Ooh, I'm planning my escape." And the day that he escaped was the evening of the cold Arctic, surface of Mars breeze. And within like no less than 15 to 20 minutes, he was caught. But he wanted to get caught because he was cold. He even said it too. "Listen, man, I didn't get that far. It was too freezing. I was cold, He had his like orange jumpsuit, so he didn't go that far." I was like, damn. It was like, all right. And then previously, about a year or two ago, there was a convict that escaped from a prison. He climbed the walls, jumped over the fence, and then for like 7 to 8 days or 17 days, they were looking for this guy. They were looking for him everywhere. So they were like, okay, he could be over here, he could be over there. So they put up a town alert. Everybody keep your windows and doors closed. And people had cameras in front and backyard. Police were patrolling the streets 24 hours, 7 days a week. Kids going to go to school. Nobody could have gone to work because they had to find this convict that escaped. This was in upstate Pennsylvania. This happened, or outside about 20 minutes of Philly. But anyway, so they were looking for this guy, and for days they were using dogs and helicopters and National Guard, whatever it was that they were using. They were looking for this guy. They couldn't find him for 7 days, and they found him. I forgot how they found it, but he was hiding. how he survived. He said, like, I found a backpack and I took the backpack, and the backpack had razor blades, like a razor and shaving cream. So he shaved his face and his head. He was like, okay, no one will recognize me. So he hid back in the woods again. And he said that while he was hiding, he just within feet he saw uh a police officer within feet of him. He was like, "Oh my god!" Can you imagine that? Like you see that in the movies where the monster is chasing you. You see its feet. But you're hiding. You're like, "Oh my god!" You put your hand over your mouth, not trying not to scream. And but in how he described it was, he was like, "If I move or breathe, I would have been caught." So he froze. He said, I am a statue," so he became a statue. Like he did not move. But he did see the guard. And the guard just looked left, looked right. And next thing you know, he continued. I was like, whoa, man. That's suspense right there. Oh my God. As a matter of fact, I live not too far from a jail. Yeah, Burlington County Prison, and they pretty much hold these convicts over the weekend, or some of these convicts doing a weekend serve. Most of them are like drug dealers, killers, and it's a very well secured prison. I can tell you that right now. So before anybody was like, "Oh my God," and then believe it or not, yeah, we had, escapees before, but they didn't get far. How far are you going to go in a most elaborate, bright orange jumpsuit? How far are you going to go? I mean, where can you go? You can't disguise yourself as a road cone. You know what I mean? It's like, oh God, if I stand very still, they'll go around me. No, this is how they escape. Of the stories of the years I've been living in my neighborhood, I've been hearing like when they dump trash, and now that's their moment of truth to let me get the hell out of here. And some of them don't even get far. Some of them, many of them, been caught in Burlington, Willingboro, and in Camden, New Jersey. Because the people that would help them escape, they would easily get caught. But this guy Roofman, he played it cool, for 6 months. Would I say that he was smart and knew what to do not to get caught? Yeah, I guess I could say, yeah, he was a smart man. I guess you could say that. Can I say that? Let me get off TikTok live. I don't want to be on TikTok. Okay. I love TikTok, but I don't want to be on live. All right. So, all right, let me get off here. All right. So here we go. I'm sorry, because I got to continue on with the story. So of all these stories that I've heard of actual prison escapes, like there was this one guy he was a police officer, but he was like a wacko bag. And he escaped, by wearing a prison guard outfit. And he just walked out. But they caught him within like 3 or 4 days because they found him in the woods. He didn't know where to go. He couldn't go far. You know what I mean? They found him like sitting. And it was like, I want to go back, man. Yeah, I want to go back to my sanctuary in my own cell, eat nasty food. Normally for me, if I was to escape a prison, I would make sure like I would have a map of a bag, where it's hidden in the ground. Not like in Shawshank Redemption where, he finds the map to go to Texas to meet his friend, whatever, Hold on. Oh my God. Let me drink my water, man. I'm dying of thirst here. Hold on. Oh my God. So how I would do it if I was to escape a prison. Okay. I would probably like hide a bag and have a change of clothes, maybe cash, maybe possibility fake IDs, change my appearance, and just normally, I don't know. Like you see in the movies when they escape prison, it's either a helicopter that picks them up or their buddies out there waiting to pick them up. From the stories that I've heard of prison escapes, many of them were dramatic escapes. Like this one that I've heard of, this mob figure in Italy, and he was one of the most ruthless, most dangerous drug lords in that region. I think it was in Sicily. I think it was. And this was like 4 years ago. He was serving time in jail, and it was the most elaborate escapes ever. A helicopter flew inside the prison, picked him up, flew him out, and they're still trying to find him to this day. They can't find him. They don't know where he is. The FBI even helped in the Italian law enforcement. CIA got involved, and it was just like, we don't know where the hell this guy is. Now, when you make an escape from prison, you pretty much got to know where you're going. You got to know your area, where to go, where not to go. Try your best to like maybe bring a change of clothing or something like that. You know what I mean? Because with an orange jumpsuit, you're gonna get caught within no less than an inch. I mean, from where outside the building. Hey, I'm free. Oh my god, the freaking. Maybe if I put a tie on it, they won't recognize me. You know? It's like from all these movies that I've seen of escaped prisoners, you think it's like, oh, this will look easy. There was a movie with Russell Crowe about, his wife was convicted of a crime she didn't commit, and he pretty much helped her escape to go to Peru. But they did their research, the writers, about what would you do, if you can make it to Peru and you make it that far. Do you think law enforcement were about to look for you that far, or they can help the Peruvian law enforcement to get you and then, extradite you back to the States, which has happened? Maybe there was a movie with Tom Cruise called Day and Night, and he was saying, well, if I was to escape prison, I would go to the south tip of South America and not and stay there, because how far do you think they're going to go to look for you all the way down there? None. Unless you keep your mouth shut, you know what I mean, and change your looks and try your best not to expose yourself or let everyone know, hey, everybody, my name is Pete. I'm an escaped convict and also an alcoholic. Hi. Hey, Pete, how you doing? Yeah, I've been on the run for a very long time. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I don't want to get caught. It's like, there was another movie that I saw that involved escaping prison, like the right way to do it. And it's complicated. It's mathematically complicated because number one, you got to know where to go. Number two, you got to have a bag of changing of clothes and like towelettes and toothbrush and toothpaste, shaving equipment, whatever. Money, that's another thing. You got to depend on friends that won't rat you out, and then you don't want them to get in trouble with the law. You pretty much got to know where to go, who to go, and just where to go. But some of these convicts don't think that. They're like, you know what? I'm going to escape, get in my orange jumpsuit, and run as far as 5 miles and hope for the best, And then, damn it, I got caught. Like those 12 convicts, which all of them got caught, they just punch a hole. But like in Shawshank Redemption was like the best perfect escape plan ever. It was. I mean, this guy did his math. He knew where the money was going. He knew that the system was corrupt. So he did his research. He was like, oh, okay. I'll keep this on my brain. I will not write this down. And he did. He was like, and then all of a sudden the corruption kept building. He kept witnessing it because he was the guy that kept the books, And then what happened one day? He took him years to figure out his plan of escape. He was like, "Ooh, a poster will cover my hole. Ooh, wait a minute, I got to change of clothes. I got money. I got fake IDs. I'm ready to go. I'm going to go. Tonight's the night." And he crawled like 500 yards of shit. He made it. And he let the rain hit his body. But he planned it right. He had to change of clothes. He had a bar of soap. I don't know if he had toothpaste. They didn't show that in the movie. But he had a bar of soap. He put clothes in a plastic bag so they won't get wet or muddy. and he had his books. He had everything ready. And he goes, how often do you look at a man's shoes, right? And next thing you know, a couple days, he walked into a bank. Hey, I'm this guy. I'd like to close my account. Hey, this guy. He was closing bank accounts in like 6 banks, all under using a fake name. It was a name. I just caught it, saw it, and I caught it. I said, yeah, I'll use this name. And then what happened next? He sent a package of how corrupt the system was to a newspaper company, and then everybody went down, especially the warden, the evil, horrible warden who took his own life because he didn't want to go to jail. He knew what would happen to him if he goes to jail. Stories like that, when a convict makes their escape, many of them don't plan it out. Many of them think it's like, oh, this is easy. All I got to do is make a hole, wait for the night sky, wait to get out at night, and then no one will find me. Like those 3 convicts that escaped Alcatraz. No one's found them. I mean, they're dead. They're gone, you know? And believe it or not, they're still looking for them. Oh, my God. You know, it's like in that movie, The Fugitive. Hey, now we can go home? No. It's like, dude, stop. Man. When you have an escape plan, you time it, you plan it perfectly, know where to go, have a map, try your best to hopefully you can get somebody on the outside and find you cash or change of clothes, some hygienic stuff, you know, because you will be stanking because you're so busy running and sweating, you don't have the time to like, oh, gee, I could take a shower, but where, you know? Oh, gee, I need to take a shit, but where, you know? And I'm wearing this orange jumpsuit. Maybe Boscov has a sale. Yeah, once you walk in there, all the cameras catch you, and then you're caught. I don't know, man. All I can say is this. It's pretty much a time when just don't do the crime if you can't do the time, as the saying goes. And when you make an escape plan, have a plan first before the escape. I mean, it's like, don't just say, oh, now's my chance. Where am I going to go? Who's going to pick me up? But damn it. Why are the cops surrounding me? Ah, man. I'll go back like a good little boy. Yep. Yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles, people. But I mean, this guy, Jeffrey Manchester, who's still in prison, and he won't be out until 2036 because he robbed banks, but he didn't hurt people. He didn't hurt anybody. He didn't kill. He didn't physically harm no one. And from what I read, like he didn't threaten anyone's life. He was in hiding. He was very quiet, you know, and he kept himself. He knew what to do, you know. The only problem was it's just that he was leaving too much evidence behind of like riding the bikes, playing with the toys, eating the food, and it was like to a point where nowadays, like I said, he would have been caught with the camera and security system as sophisticated and more upgraded that they are now. Yeah, 2004 was a different time, you know. But well, he learned his lesson. Now he's in jail, and I don't know if he's profiting from this movie. So all I can say is this, man. When you have an escape plan, make the plan first before you make the escape. And that way, you can try to go as far as a block or two or the southern tip of South America. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time for the Jerry Torres program. As you all well know, I am an accomplished author. I have written a book entitled Chinese Food for Breakfast. You can find my book either on lulu.com, that is Lulu, or on Amazon Kindle. And it's an ebook. You can download the book, read the book anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or your laptop. And the book is only $4, people, so you're really not going to be breaking the bank. So download the book today and enjoy a good read. Also, listen to my co-worker's new song. Oh my God, Gordo B. Oh my goodness, I'm right now trying not to fade away. But Gordo B came out with a new album. Download it today. You can find his new music on TikTok, Instagram, or on YouTube. It's one of the most coolest, smoothest hip hop albums I've heard in quite a while. It just reminded me of Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, and it's lyrics you can understand what the hell they're saying. But it's good music. You just close your eyes and just bop your head into it. That's how good the music is. So find Gordo B on TikTok, Instagram, or on YouTube. Gordo B is spelled Gordo, big letter B. And also listen to my good friend Latice Mitchell's podcast show, Tice Talk. She's in the work of making a comeback from her podcast. You can listen to her previous podcast shows on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or on iHeartRadio. Her podcast show is about fun, family, friends, things that she's seen, just to talk about it. So find Latice Mitchell's Tice Talk. You listen to it. It is hysterical on her podcast as well as she is on stage. So listen to Latice Mitchell's Tice Talk.
It'll make your head spin.
Tice Talk with Latice Mitchell.
Real bad.
Tice Talk.
Get wrecked.
Tice Talk with Latice.
Knock your socks off.
Mitchell. Okay. And also, ladies and gentlemen, listen to Funky Times. You can find their music on TikTok, Instagram, or on YouTube. Listen to their music. It's the best music I've ever heard in quite a while. They mix it with jazz, funk, rock. They know how to make music and make music right. If you're interested in hiring them for a special event, send them a message, make out a deal, and you won't regret it. Okay. And find Funky Times again on TikTok, Instagram, or on YouTube. And speaking of Funky Times, I use their music to close my show. And a 3, 2, and a 1, and a 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5, 6, 7. Damn it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another episode of the Jerry Torres program. As I always say towards the end of my podcast, whatever religious figure you believe in, may you be blessed. I bid you all a fond do. I'll be back. So I ask you all, please don't go changing. I'm gone, get gone, and bye.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Limited time offer. No purchase necessary. Offer valid at participating locations. Food where prohibited. No animals were harmed during the production of this soundboard. Subject to change without notice. Side effects include dry mouth, occasional pig snort or two, sore stomach, teary eyes, achy jaws, and whatever tingles while laughing hard.
You just heard the Jerry Torres program on Spotify, YouTube Music, and on Appa Podcast. Find him on Spotify. Subscribe to his podcast episode and subscribe to any and listen to his previous podcast shows. The Jerry Torres program, ladies and gentlemen, always remember and tell the world that his podcast show has been known to bring magic to your heart, mind, and soul.